There's a congressional effort that may have a serious impact on how our public lands are policed. U.S. Representative Jason Chaffetz of Utah introduced H.R. 622 in late January. This piece of legislation would stop the Forest Service and Bureau of Land Management from being able to enforce laws on federal lands. Instead, states would be granted funds to police millions of acres of land used for hunting and fishing. But why give up the ability to enforce the law? Is it a budget issue? In a press release on H.R. 622, Chaffetz said handing over the reins would free up resources for the federal government while providing much-needed opportunities for economic development in struggling rural communities. The BLM operates on a budget just above $1 billion while it brings in several billion more by leasing land, permits, and other avenues. And according to a report from the Outdoor Industry Association, outdoor activities generate $646 billion in annual revenue. They're also responsible for 6.1 million jobs and close to $40 billion in federal tax revenue. So it's clearly not a budget issue since the BLM is one of the few government agencies turning a profit. So why? Outdoor enthusiasts Ryan Callaghan and Kenton Carruth from First Lite were recently on the Joe Rogan podcast where they explained how this bill could be setting up our public lands to fail. The idea would be that state law enforcement would be so focused on enforcing their laws that the federal lands would suffer, ultimately to a point where the case could be made to justify selling them off. All roads lead back to money. If a government agency is turning a profit with a resource, there's clearly a lot of private companies and individuals who'd like to do the same with it. Chaffetz recently received a lot of public criticism from another bill he introduced which would have put BLM land up for sale when deemed disposable. But because of you all and prominent sportsmen like Steve Rinella, Cam Hanes, and Remi Warren, Chaffetz's social media was flooded with negative backlash. In the end, Chaffetz stated via Instagram he was going to kill the bill. But words are words and should only be taken at face value. There are many bills currently being introduced on state and federal levels that could impact your ability to enjoy your public lands. Stay up to speed on these things by following sportsmen and outdoor enthusiasts like Hushin, the Meat Eater, and so on. It's up to you to let your voice be heard by your government officials on social media, email, and by calling them to tell them how you feel and ultimately hold them accountable. For Rated Red, I'm Richard Ryan.
Don't forget to check out Rated Red's first documentary series, Guns Up Texas, available at our YouTube channel on February 22nd.